Welcome, race fans, to round number 9 of the NAVSCAR Pro Series. Tonight we're racing the UMDF 250 presented by DPM Motorsports at Richmond Motor Speedway. Once again, I'm joined in the booth tonight by Jamie Christensen and Dustin Phillips. How's it going, boys?
Going good. Going good. Real happy to be here this evening. You know, a lot of guys like Richmond, they wait for this one to come up on the schedule, so I think we're going to have some good racing. Track's a little bit hot, 110 degrees, but, you know, partly cloudy skies of 78, so hopefully we'll see the track conditions change a little bit as we get into it, but I think we should look forward to some really good racing.
Dustin, how was your week off, man? We didn't have a race last week, or a broadcast last week. You good to be back in the seat here?
Yeah, guys, good to be back. Definitely excited to be back with Jamie. It's been a couple weeks for me and him. Mike, me and you had a pretty good broadcast here at Texas, so just good to have Jamie back, and kind of exciting here for some short track racing.
Yeah, drivers are on the track. They're about 2 minutes into their qualifying session so far. Let's go join the action as it goes.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. You know, this with the track temperatures being the way they are, we're going to see some guys have to back up those corners a little bit, and then kind of adjust the brakes, to be quite honest with you. It's, you know, getting into these corners, you know, Dustin, you might know and be able to speak to this a little bit better, but, you know, this is considered a short track, and, you know, these guys are going to be using those brakes up.
Yeah, Jamie, you're right. I heard a lot of guys speaking on practice of some of the stuff that they were doing, making it really easy around here compared to how we normally are. So, yeah, there's guys going to have to definitely take care of their stuff here tonight and be careful around each other and just overall have a smart race. We got a long 200 laps, so definitely got to be patient here.
Yeah, 7 minutes in. What do you guys think? You think you wanted to get a quick time real early, get your lap down and ready to go for the start of this race?
I personally don't. I would want to wait, to be quite honest with you. I want these guys to throw a little bit more rubber on that track, maybe provide a little extra grip that wasn't there before. So if it's up to me, I'm going to hang out in the pit and wait for the field to clear a little bit and get some rubber out there.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think definitely want to get some rubber in, maybe get the track temps up a little bit, and yeah, gonna get out there. I want to see what everyone else has. You know, I want to know what I'm gonna have to shoot for, and then put down a quick time. And I think we see a lot of key players doing that as well, not on the track yet.
Yeah, you know, and it should be noted too that, you know, qualifying is always an interesting thing. You know, you got guys out there that can definitely put down a fast lap, but, you know, it's a little bit different when you got 30-plus cars around you and you need to be able to account for the car in front of you and the car behind you. One of the things that we've seen even in practice is these guys getting into the corners, and because the track is hot and slick, the car is just carrying into the corner, and they're almost drifting around it to a certain extent.
Yeah, definitely. The setup is pretty loose, and iRacing actually uploaded a night setup for this race, and it was actually way worse than this. And we had a last-minute update on the setup, which kind of tightened up the car, but still a lot of drivers are complaining about a loose rear end.
Yeah, you know, and I was talking to a couple drivers down there about how they were countering that. You know, the steering offset by default was set to plus 22, which is, you know, helps you out on the straightaway, helps kind of keep that car, you know, going straight, and doesn't allow the back end to come out as much. But it's also the downside to that is when they get into the corners, it starts to really get loose in there. So really wish iRacing would put in that track bar for those drivers to change that, but we'll wait for that update.
Yeah, that's actually like the #1 request I get from guys is I wish we just had control over our in-car adjustments, man. They really want the track bar set up, maybe some tire temps during pit stops. Being able to do that with a fixed setup would really give these guys a little bit more, you know, control. Not necessarily like full control that we want. You know, we want everybody on the same playing field, but being able to control your track bar, I think that would help people a lot.
Oh, I definitely think it would, but it would have to take some getting used to as well because you can definitely go up and down on that thing quite a bit, and just a small adjustment will is actually significant to somebody driving that car.
Oh, I agree 100%. You could definitely you can go too much, you can go too far, and if you do it too quickly, you could find yourself spinning out as you enter a corner if you don't know what to expect. So, for sure, it can go either way. About 3 minutes left in qualifying. Let's go take a look at the Battle of the Booth. Last week we did not have picks because we did not do a broadcast, but you know, it looks like I didn't do so well the week before that, so I'm picking first, and I think I'm going to pick the 15 of John Fershing Jr. I haven't picked him yet this season, and he's pretty consistent. And listening to him during practice, he was letting drivers know that you want to keep that car, you know, moving forward and not super loose. You got to learn how to control that throttle, and he was letting guys know during this, you know, on that front stretch, you know, you don't really want to be at full throttle, because if you're at full throttle, that back end's going to get real loose on you. So hearing him talk like that, that tells me he's got, you know, the long term in mind, and he's thinking about what he needs to do to finish this race. So I'm going to go with him tonight, the 15 of John Fershing. Next, I think, Jamie, you're picking, buddy.
Yeah, I'm going with Nelson Rivera tonight in that 7 car. Nelson's always, he's always there at the end. He knows his way around the track. He's a wheelman, so I'm going put my money on the 7 car tonight.
And Mr. Phillips, buddy, who you picking?
I'm gonna go with my own tonight. I'm gonna go with James Gillen in '86. He's had a lot of time on the track practicing this week, and definitely looks to have a consistent time tonight. So we'll go with him, and hopefully he was pretty good to me last time out. So we'll see how he does tonight.
Yeah, he's sporting a pretty good paint job there, representing the UMDF paint scheme there. We'll talk about more of that during the race. But that's our key title sponsor tonight. And yeah, the race was presented by Dustin Phillips Motorsports, and we appreciate you guys coming on board for this good cause. And we got a $5 money prize for the winner of this race.
Yeah, very excited to be able to have Josh, and Josh Buckley's a big guy in this, and I tell you what, it's we're just happy to be a part of it, and come here and get $5 out to the winners. A little added bonus for these guys. It's going to be a good race. Looking forward to it.
Just about to finish up qualifying. Got a minute and left. Ricky Goodman is got an interesting paint scheme. He's got the Vote Goodman on the front of his car there, and put a little bit of damage on that. He doesn't want to ruin that that headshot. He's got to keep that nice and clean.
I want to just clarify what that Vote Goodman is for.
Yeah, we're taking voting right now. For the drivers are voting on a representative to join the board of directors at NAVSCAR, and we're putting up a 6-member board that's going to basically decide the outcome of the league and the direction, and decide rules and such like that going forward. So we're going to have a yearly driver appointed member to be the voice or the representative of the driver, so to speak, and he'll have a vote just like any of the other board members when it comes to rules creations and series direction and stuff like that. We've got a bunch of new stuff coming. We've got a truck series starting up in a couple weeks. Let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Truck schedule, we're going to be running Mondays, and it's going to be like a development series for us, and that's open to anybody who qualifies for the league, and the league requirements have kind of stepped down for that. So anybody who's not holding a rookie license who wants to get some experience in the trucks and maybe have an experience that's just a little bit more structured than what iRacing offers. You run with the same guys each week and that sort of thing. We're going to be using it as a development series. So anybody who's going to come into the Pro Series will have to do their time in the Truck Series first. And I think it's good for the league, and moving forward, it should allow us to expand into some bigger things and get some new talent into the drivers. All right, looks like qualifying did just finish up. Let's take a look. I believe Calvin Allison puts down 1 lap and takes the pole.
Yeah, that was actually really impressive.
Yeah, he waited till the last minute, just like you said there. Puts down 1 lap, takes that pole. These guys are going to be gridding up here in a minute. All right, let's go ahead and run through the qualifying order. First row, on the pole with 4 wins so far this season, the 28 of Calvin Allison. Second place, Joshua Buckley, our title sponsor. Again, we thank him for stepping up tonight and sponsoring this race. James Skelton, John Frisching Jr., row 2. Sean Butler, 2 wins on that fella, and he did take home Bristol last week. And the 933 of Jay Adair. Nelson Rivera in the 7 car, 929, and Thomas Keane, row 4. Row 5, William Long and Jason Wells. Row number 6, we got Jonas Hankins in the 1354 of Keith Haney on the outside. Row number 7, we got Raymond Edge and the 917 of David Howard Jr. Row number 8, the 26 of Dale Albright and the 949 of Jeff Sharp. Row number 9, we got the 968 of Nick Payne and Timothy Lewis, who is also looking for votes for that driver-appointed board member. Row number 10, we've got the 930 of Daniel Haney and the 00 of Brian Wynn. Row number 11, we got Nate LaFleur and Tommy Amasi. Row number 12, we got the 983 of Jack Wells. You can see he's locked into the chase with his win there as well, and the 82 of Mike Abbott. Row number 13, we got 8 of Brett Rogers and the 4 of Ricky Goodman. Row 14, we've got Jordan D. Beck in the 977 of Scott Kidd. Row number 15, we got Kevin O'Brien and Mark Bratcher. Row 16, we got the 999 of Corey Wharton and the 555 of Butch Frazier. Row number 17, with no qualifying time, we got the Chris Sharp. As the cars roll off.
Yeah, it should be interesting, Mike. You know, going back to the history books here. Last time we actually raced at Richmond was a night race back in March of 2015, and that winner was Mike Abbott. And so we know Mike knows his way around the track. He is a past champion of ours too. I should point out. So hopefully it'll be a good night for the. For that team, and hopefully we can see him up front tonight.
All right, first restart of the night. Hopefully it's you know, one of a decent number of restarts and not one of many. We'll see how it goes. It's a challenging track. You know, we've had a pretty challenging stretch these last couple races with a couple short tracks. And next week we're running, I believe we go to Talladega next week, so it'll be a bit of a change. We'll have some super speedway racing and guys will be a little bit more comfortable there.
Yeah, if we're going to Talladega, you got to have a friend. And the last couple of weeks here, not that we don't have any major rivalries, but you know, you definitely want to have your friends close and your other drivers maybe closer.
Yeah, definitely. You know, this isn't the race leading into Talladega to make friends, but hopefully these guys will keep it together as the pace car pulls in, and we're going to go green here.
Yeah, real strong start there by Calvin Allison. It almost looked like Kyle Busch coming off the start there, going into turn 1. Looks like he's clear to the 2 of Buckley, and looks like a real good, clean start here going into 1 and 2.
Looks like the 15 of John Frisching Jr. right now trapped on the outside. Cars on the inside. Sean Butler looks like he's fighting a loose car there, keeping it down low, but does able to do that. 15 is going to cut the nose of the 933, get that inside line. He needs that as 86 is checking up. Do we have a caution? We have a caution. Anybody see what brought out that caution? I didn't catch it.
No, I didn't see it. All the cars, for the most part, seem to be up to speed. Kevin O'Brien seems to be a little bit off the pace, but...
yeah, Ricky Goodman's got some damage on the rear deck lid of that car, so definitely keep an eye on that. He was definitely involved in whatever happened.
Yeah, checking the replay now, Ricky Goodman looks like 946 just gets into him. Really slow entry for the 4 there, but 946 had a ton of time to kind of back it up, but just turned him around there. Let's see if we can ride on board with the 946.
Well, that's one way to get the car in front of you to move.
Yep, it doesn't take much. He's able to go underneath and kind of stay out of the way there, so just some damage on that front end. But yeah, we want to see more than 2 laps before stuff like that happens. But it is what it is. These guys will get their cars underneath them, and we'll get going hopefully here pretty quick.
Yeah, I think, when they're under caution, there's some strategy going on. The guys are talking to the spotters and stuff. We got a couple drivers tonight running with a real spotter, which we've talked about in the past. Kind of, from my perspective, gives you a little bit of advantage because you're getting a little bit more dynamic feedback than you would from just, the regular spotter there in iRacing. So we'll get these guys grouped back up and get ready to go.
Didn't look like anybody came down pit road there. Everyone's staying out.
Which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, they only got 2 laps on those tires, but there's always some takers, you figure.
Well, absolutely. And if you're further back in the pack, you've really got nothing to lose. Obviously, you can try to stay out of other drivers' way or make your way through the pack. So, I don't know. I think if I was 10th or back, I would have came in. I would have had nothing to lose, and I don't think we've seen the last of the caution. So I'd like good equipment under my car. Some fresh Goodyears.
Well, we're gonna have to keep an eye on this restart. Kelvin Ellison got a great restart during the start of that race. Let's see if he's able to do the same.
I did notice we had a legend back in the field tonight. Brent Cowboy Rogers joins us.
Yeah,
back
good to
in the
see
saddle.
that 8 car back on the track as pace car pulls off and we're going green.
It's going to be interesting if we hear from the drivers whether or not the 28 there of Allison is maintaining his speed in the box as Brent Rogers goes around. Might have got some help.
And that brings out our second caution. Let's see if we take a look at that one. $9.46 once again. That's 2 for the 946. Into the back of the 8 car.
Yeah, we're waiting to hear back from the NASCAR hauler on that one. We might see end of line or a black flag if that continues. It's interesting too, guys. We did hear a lot of talk in the garage from these drivers about, making sure that the equipment was good. Some drivers have been having problems with monitors, steering wheels, brakes, you name it. I mean, this, while it's a virtual, the equipment that you have to race is pretty crucial to what we do here. So just a lot of talk about that and making sure that everything is up to par because there's nothing worse than getting caught up in somebody else's incident when you really didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, you got cars in front of you, and you're going into the corner conservatively, as we should here on lap 7. And then you just get a guy behind you and turns you around. It can be frustrating. Hopefully, guys keep their cool, but I'm sure Mark, he doesn't want to be the reason that cautions come out either. So bringing out both of those, he's got to feel kind of, I'm sure he's not feeling great about it.
No, I would agree. But I mean, I think it's like we see on the racing on Saturday night and Sunday in real life. Sometimes they want to talk to him in the hauler afterwards.
Yeah, for sure.
kind of reminds me of Casey Kane and Danica Patrick.
Yeah, right.
The crew chief, driver, and spotter.
And spotter.
To the hauler.
Spotter's like, what do I do, man? I was just...
Do you realize how long it's going to take me to get to the hauler?
Right. All right, lights are off. We're going to be going back here to take lap 12.
It's good to see, though, that these guys are, they're spacing out. Sometimes we talk about it. Sometimes we're talking about how they need to just back off each other a little bit, let the field spread out. You're not going to win the race on the first lap or the 15th. So, so far so good. Hopefully we just get them through the corners here and get them spread out, get some laps under them. And we got one spinning on the back of the track. Looks like Ricky Goodman's around.
No back end on that car. Is there a caution? No caution.
Yeah, caution's out. 94 just got in the back end of him and sent him around. So, but that's not the incident that brought out the caution. So we got multiple cars involved there. That all happened in turn 1, which is what brought out the caution.
What car brought it out? Did you see?
I just got the 983 was the one that was Jack Walls. He's the one that got around, but I think he got a little help there from may have been the 82.
Oh, the 94 just outright. Well, those guys are teammates. You wouldn't know it. Let's take a look at what brought out the caution.
Yeah, I think it was the Abbott and James Walls there. I think Walls is in front of Abbott and maybe just checks up a little bit faster than what Mike was expecting, and Mike just got into the back room and spun him, which caused a multi-car accident there. Brian Wynn involved with that a little bit.
Yeah, Brian Wynn was flashing there, but yeah, we can see there he does check up, maybe because the guys are racing pretty hard in front of him, and 82 just turns.
Speaking of Brian Wynn, maybe give him a little airtime. He's always a big contributor, a big sponsor of what we do here in the league, and we really appreciate what he's done in the past. So that, and I always like to give him a hard time because I really enjoyed his memes that he posts on Facebook about not getting airtime on the network here. So.
Well, let's use this time to talk about sponsors as well. We do have a quick little sponsor video we're going to cut to right now.
Mitochondria. We all got them. They're the powerhouses that energize our bodies. But people who have mitochondrial disease can't produce enough energy to walk, talk, see, or breathe. Things you and I take for granted. Every 30 minutes, a child is born who will develop mitochondrial disease before their teenage years. So power up with me. Walk for the children and adults who can't. You have the power to give them the energy to live. Show up for an Energy for Life walkathon in your community.
Yeah, so UMDF Foundation, check them out, www.umdf. Great organization. Kind of an unknown disease. There's more information about it there. It does affect some of our drivers personally with family members, so we encourage everybody to check them out, www.umdf. You have any extra change laying around, go ahead and make a donation, hit that Give Today button, and support a great cause. And again, we thank Josh Buckley and Team DPM for stepping up and sponsoring this race as we're about to go back to green. Hopefully we get a couple laps here on this one, boys.
And we got somebody spinning there already. The 24 got into somebody right there at the restart.
Cars are really bunching up on those corners. Drivers have to be aware that, you know, cars are going to check up, you know, ahead of you. So don't burn into those corners. Watching from the blimp, we can see these guys doing a pretty good job this time around to, you know, staying off each other. Most of the issues were at the back of the pack, so these guys kind of know what they're doing up front here. Everyone's a little bit more patient up front.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no reason to race somebody hard. I mean, I think this track, you know, normally with a short track, you can beat and bang on that car, but this is one where when the track conditions are slick like this, they're racing the track just as much as the guy next to them or behind him or in front of them. So, I think they're starting to realize that a little bit more as we get going here. I mean, got to get that car dialed in before you can start going out there and really get racing.
And one thing you got to know is these laps will click by pretty quick. 22-second laps. You know, if we stay green, you know, 10 minutes, we're gonna run a whole bunch of laps here. So these guys are doing a good job now. It's about an 85-lap fuel run. So I don't know if we're gonna make a fuel run or not, but I'm sure that'll be in the back of these guys' heads as well.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go on a limb. I don't think we're gonna see a fuel run. I mean, these tires, they feel slick to begin with. As the air pressure comes up in a little bit, you know, they do get a little extra benefit if that's how you like your car set up. But I think a lot of guys are gonna want new tires before we ever get to that 85 lap mark.
Right now on board with the 999 of Corey Wharton, currently 17th place. You can see him using up the whole track. He's going to look to the inside here. Make that car stick on the bottom and make that pass in the 949 for that position.
Caution's out.
Anyone see what brought that out?
Not yet.
Guys, I'm having a lot of issues trying to go back find these guys on the track. It's only showing me about 14 cars on the track at a time. So
yeah,
I got the 555
in the 94.
And the 94 again. Yeah, that's 4 cautions. Well, no, he didn't. That one didn't bring out the caution with his teammate, but we're seeing common drivers get collisions here.
And it was interesting. I you know, obviously we're not driving those cars, but my replay doesn't show that they actually touch. So again, may have been a little net code. You never know how it goes, but we'll have to see. You know, I think a lot of drivers too, and this isn't a knock on iRacing, but a lot of drivers aren't real happy with the some of the bugs that are still we're still seeing, and then compounded by a larger field where you've got a lot of things going on. So hopefully we'll just chalk that one up to maybe some net code, and we'll get back into this.
Yeah, there was definitely enough forward momentum from the 94 to turn the 555. If there wasn't contact, there should have been. But I think the 555 was checking up because of Mark Bratcher. So in that combination with you know, the 94 had that run, and it just you know, that's what happens. So right now we've got a bunch of different strategies. Now a lot of cars have come into pit, but the first 6 cars on the track have yet to pit.
Well, Dustin, you got to be real happy because I'm showing the fastest lap out there of the whole race has been James Skeleton. Ran a 22.471. You know, just 0.3 of a second faster than Calvin Allison. But fast times out there for Team DPM.
Yeah, the guys in the shop worked on the car pretty good all week, and I tell you what, they've brought some good cars here tonight. James done a real good real good job in the car tonight, and yeah, Buckley's right there behind him. So these guys have they've tested coming into this place, and they're going to look pretty good here tonight as long as they can stay out of trouble and stay up front. You know, want to mention we didn't say the top three stayed out and everybody else behind them, except for a few, came in. So tell you what, it's going to be fun to watch these guys come up through the field and see how these guys up front can either try to gap them. So you know, tires are starting to wear out. We're at lap 28. You know, we really hadn't a lot of green flag runs, but still these tires go away on you. So we'll have to definitely keep an eye on that strategy and see how it plays out for these top three here.
Well, I think you bring up a good point there, Dustin, because we got a lot of movers and shakers, and if you look at, like we always do every week, we like to look at who's moving and who's going down, or who's moving up and who's going down. So Corey Wharton, up 24 positions, up to the 7th spot, biggest mover of the race so far. But he's got a lot of drivers in that same boat with him, though, to be quite honest with you. Mike Abbott up 15, Mark Bratcher up quite a few, so.
Yeah, we're looking. John Fersham was first car down pit road there in 4th place, and he's going to restart here in 13th, I believe. So, yeah, we're going to have to see him and Sean Butler and Jay there and Thomas Keane and all them boys come up through the field and try to get around these guys that don't have tires. It's going to be kind of exciting.
Yeah, patience is going to be key in, like I said, Dustin, I think you really nailed it, because John Fershing starting in 13th place, down 9 positions from when he came into the pits. He's got these guys on the old tires, and you know, I think we're going to see here what's the difference between old and new, even on the short amount of laps that they put on them. So,
pace car's in. We're going to get another restart here. And they're off. Looks like the 86 spun his tires. They're holding up that outside line pretty bad. We got 3 wide with the 949 stuck in the middle there.
Yeah, a lot of side-by-side racing.
Yeah, that's an interesting point you bring up, Mike. He definitely looks like he spun the tires. That's something you're going to do there on older tires. So that guy's got to be mindful of that all night. And we'll see how he can recover, or how long these guys that didn't pit can stay up in front of these guys that did. So.
Yeah, Sean Butler being real aggressive too, putting him 3 wide in turns 4 and 1.
Yeah, did make up a bunch of spots on that first 2 laps. He's up to 9th place. $9.99 at Corey Wharton's up to 5th, followed by Jason Wells in the 964. Good to see Jason Wells up in the top 7, top 8 right now. Raymond Edge 7th, Mike Abbott in 8th, Sean Butler 9th, Dale Albright in 10th.
Yeah, we're also going to have to keep an eye on that 977. You know, Scott Kidd, we seen him come over the radio here a little bit ago, having some connection issues, and do continue to see him blink out there, so one to keep an eye on. He's able to get his way around the track, but hopefully he can get that straightened out.
Some good racing going on right now. 11th, 12th, 13th spot. We got 2 rows, 2x2. John Fershing Jr. side by side with Mark Bratcher, behind Mark Bratcher, side by side with Jay Adair, and then the 929 of Thomas Keane on the outside, trying to make that pass on the outside. Tough to do here for sure. Especially he's going to get held up with the 26 of Dale Albright on the outside as well. Going to be hard to complete that pass with the 946 on the inside. You can see him. He has to check up. He has to get by. The 26 is trying to pick a lane here. Guys are all over each other. 926 gets real loose there and has to drop back, but everyone keeps it together.
Yeah, some good racing all the way around, even towards the back of the field right now. David Howard Jr. currently showing in 22nd position, down 8 spots from where he started. I'm not sure. He's just getting accustomed to the track a little bit. Just wants to take it easy, but he's right behind Chris Sharp there, and they seem to be making their way up to the field.
Looks like cars are finally gotten in line. Everyone's spread out pretty good. No huge battles going on right now. Jonas Hankins in the 13th, looking underneath the 949 of Chris Sharp. Sorry, Jeff Sharp.
You know, I'm just watching the timing chart, guys. Jason Wells and that 964 and Sean Butler are switching back and forth lap after lap as having the fastest laps out on the field. Those guys are putting down some scorchers.
Yeah, once these guys start getting in the rhythm, which they've finally been able to do, you're going to see these top 5, top 6 cars all battle for the fastest laps here. Calvin Allison, you know, is pulling away a little bit. He's got a 0.7 second lead over second place. Joshua Buckley in second, Keith Haney third, James Skelton fourth, and Jason Wells rounding out the top 5.
Now, I'm kind of surprised we don't see some of these guys try that upper line, or at least arc it in. You know, go in high and then arc it down into that low line coming out of the turns, but.
Yeah, you're right. I think you kind of want to use that entire track, especially on entry. You want to get right up against the wall and then duck it in. Some guys are doing that. You can see the 86, the 2 car of Joshua Buckley runs a little wide, but it looks like the 54 is going to use that to get under him. So maybe that's why. Whoa! Crazy loose there. I don't think those cars actually touched, but some crazy driving there. The 54 is able to save it. Looked like that car was going around for sure.
Well, you know, and that's the thing. I mean, when it's as slick as it is, and we are getting a little rubber on the track, and we're starting to see it accumulate. But you know, when those cars start to go around, it takes everything you got to straighten that car back out. You know, between brake, throttle, steering, it's a combination.
We can definitely tell the tire wear is going to start becoming a factor here. We're lap 43. The top 4 cars right now have not yet pit for tires, so some of these guys are going to have their handfuls. You can see how Sean Butler is able to put that car into a little bit, better position than the 2 car and the 86 car. He's got those fresh tires. He did come down and get them a couple laps ago, so he's trying to take advantage of that now as he's got that advantage and get up to the front. As long as he can keep Calvin and Keith in his sights, I think he's in good position.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point, Mike, but here's the counter to that is he's burning them up. It's just as fast as, the other guys, if not faster. Just trying to get those positions, going 3 wide, and pushing the car maybe a little bit more than what he wants to conserve on those tires for a longer run. And maybe he was thinking, too, that because we had a couple of early cautions that we would continue to see that, but we've had a longer run here, and he may, what I'm getting at is he may have equalized his tires there with everyone else. Oh, we got Kevin O'Brien into the wall, turn 1, no flag, no yellow flag out. He's able to keep going, but he got loose, turn 1. Oh, and they're wrecking on the backstretch. Butch Frazier involved. Looks like Scott Kidd's involved. Scott Kidd is still trying to get that car turned around. Still one of the problems you have with a shorter track. And he's smoking pretty bad, so if he hasn't used his quick repair, he's definitely going to brings the car right into pit road.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. The 977 and the 55 or 555 just kind of got together.
Well, like I mentioned, I've been monitoring the 977 for quite some time now. He's been blinking pretty bad. I'm going to go back and check real quick to see if that was a factor. No, basically what it was is he was running side by side with Butch Frazier there, and they just got into each other, and just a little bit of contact with these cars sends them around with the track being as slick as it is. So.
All right, looks like a lot of the leaders use that opportunity to come in and get some tires. And that puts, by my calculations, Jonas Hankins in the 13th car right now in first, with Keith Haney in second, I believe. We'll see how things go when they cycle around.
Yeah, I would agree, yeah, and that's what I'm seeing too. Both up 10 positions from where they're at. I can't say I would want to be them if they're staying out. These guys are going to be all over them, but in regards to the biggest mover, again, still Corey Wharton still up those 24 positions, and the next one behind him is Mark Bratcher and Mike Abbott. Bratcher up 16 positions to the 14th spot. Mike Abbott up 11 to the 13th. So movers and shakers. But you know, John Furston, your pick tonight, Mike. Still just trying to scratch and claw his way back up to the top there, showing top 10 right now.
Yeah, he knows that it doesn't matter where he's at lap 51 of lap 200. It only matters where you are on lap 199 and 200. So he's keeping that car clean. Looks pretty good, so I'm not worried about him. I think he'll be there at the end. Let's take a look at the schedule real quick. You can see we're running right now the Toyota Owner 200 spot, so the UMDF was actually supposed to be last week, and we pushed that up to this week. So our next race is the Geico 250 at Talladega, and then we're at the Kansas 200 and the Lucas Oil 200 following those. So we're going to Talladega, then Kansas, and then I can't read that, it's too small.
Dover.
So it should be a fun couple weeks there as well, as we're going to go back to green here. Cars are side by side. Keith Haney is starting on the inside. Looks like Jonas did drop out. Oh.
Yeah, some real close side by side racing there, Mike.
Yeah, the 933 of Jay Adair. He yeah, came down pretty hard. There was some close calls, but looks like they're okay as they get rolling here for lap 54. It's good to see Keith Haney's pulling away with Calvin there early in the run here. Sean Butler, third place, is putting some pressure on Calvin right now. Jason Wells is going to use that gets on the shoulder, gets the car real upset. Does collect it though, but that car got real loose because he got on the shoulder there.
You know who we haven't talked about a whole lot is Raymond Edge. Raymond Edge is doing fairly well out there for himself.
Yeah, currently sitting in the 17th spot, getting comfortable. I'm sure he's another one of those drivers that knows where he needs to be at the end of the race, but gets into a comfortable groove. Just wants to keep his car clean and hopefully get himself a top 10 finish here tonight.
Oh, we did have a car off the track there.
No caution?
No caution. I believe it was the 929. Thomas Keene.
Let's see if we can take a replay. Oh yeah, car gets loose and puts it through the grass, but is able to collect it. Wow, and gets it back up on the track real quick there. That's impressive. Usually when you put it in the grass, there's no saving it.
Yeah, that's really good on him. He does go backwards quite a few positions, but that's better than going a lap down or getting excessive damage on the vehicle. So
Keith Haney has opened up that that gap to Calvin Allison by 1.3 seconds. He's definitely in a groove right now. It looks real comfortable. Jason Wells looks like he got loose off of 4 there, but again, able to save it. Cars are real loose off the corner.
I am kind of surprised by that lead by Keith Haney, and that's not to take anything away from him, but you know, right now he's got Calvin Allison and Sean Butler right behind him, and James Skelton, both, all 3 of them, just real fast. But I think that just goes to show how much that fresh air really affects the car.
Yeah, and I think Keith all season's just been waiting for his moment.
Caution's out.
Caution is out. And it's Thomas Keene in that 929. Let's see what happened here. Yeah, just again gets loose off of 4, single car incident, holds the brake, keeps it off the wall, but that's going to bring out the caution. Yeah, some good intuition there to hold that brake and slide it. He's going to have to come down and change all 4 of those tires, but does keep it off that wall and doesn't collect anybody else. So it looks like everyone's going to get an opportunity to come down pit road, get us 4 fresh ones, and maybe make something happen.
You know, I wonder if Sean Butler's paying his pit crew a little bit more than the rest of them. I'm looking at those pit times, and those guys are all in the top 5. Are all running 14.6 pit stops. Sean Butler, however, 13.8.
Yeah, I'm seeing good times from him as well all night here. There's always been some conspiracy theories, so to speak, on where you should park in the box, and what that might do to affect your pit stalls. But it looks like actually everyone's blinking out when they're in their boxes. I know iRacing's having some issues with the last update, but when guys are sitting in their boxes, you can see them flashing pretty consistent here. That may be messing up our timing.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love being in the box?
Yeah, right. Looks like Keith, he did stay out. Still only on 1 pit stop for those tires. He's happy with his setup. Doesn't come down and get any adjustments or anything. He's looks like he's set to get out there and start right now. Jonas Hankins second place, and the 999 of Corey Wharton in third. That's the highest we've seen him here tonight.
It is, but Jonas with a 13.8 stop there, but Corey Wharton with a 5.1 second stop.
Yeah, and Corey's got some front end damage there, and I'm not sure if he's going to come back in. I don't know if he came in that time or not, but that front of the car is definitely flattened. I think he's going to have to come in and get it fixed. As he's on the apron here, it looks like he is going to come in.
And it being a short track, you've just got enough time to get in your pit box and just get a few seconds of repair done. Not a lot of time.
You're right. This is probably one of the worst track to repair damage. Just because, here at Bristol, Martinsville, like, you can barely change tires and get back out before the pace car is coming around. So these guys are going to work real quick here to get the car looking decent. I'm sure he's saving his quick repair. We did have a driver's meeting this morning, or before the race here, and we talked about how, we're not happy with the way that things have been with cautions and guys maybe racing a little bit too hard at the start. And we're debating going to a no quick repair format for the next round, which is in about 3 weeks. So These guys could be thinking ahead and how can we, you know, make sure that I can repair my car when I'm not going to have that quick repair just to bounce it back.
Yeah, again, still looking at those pit times. John Fershing Jr. with an 8.8 second stop. I'm not sure if he just went with 2. He is up a position, or a couple positions there after pit stops. So
yeah, I'm showing a 6.7 second stop, but yeah, quick either way. I think you're right. I think he took 2 tires. What do you think that's going to do with the setup here, Dustin? 2 tires.
It's going to be interesting. You know, Keith Haney's been quick here with no tires, and these guys have done good with no tires. So the car gets loose over a run, could get even freer. So I don't know. These guys have managed it very well, better than I thought. These leaders are going to get back after it here, so we'll take advantage of this and watch this battle continue.
We get back to start. The 13 gets a pretty good start on the outside. He's able to drive around Keith Haney. Looks like he's going to try and complete that pass. Not quite clear there, so he's not going to come down to that apron, and Keith's going to get the push from John here and get up to speed. But got to remember, Keith did not come in there, so those fresh tires, as Calvin's looking to go around 3 wide on the outside.
And we got a spinner in 2. Butch Frazier goes around.
No caution?
Well, they haven't got to him yet. Butch has got the car back up and going down the backstretch, but looks like he may be coming into the pits. Hearing a little radio traffic, I don't think Butch is real happy with the contact that was made.
See if we can take a look here.
Yeah, him and Scott Kidd got into each other there. Scott,
oh man, there was...
Give him a little help.
Oh yeah, you can see that the 977 actually turned him a little bit there just because he was checking up, and yeah, got to check up, but he gets it rolling, and unfortunately no caution.
We got some spinners on the backstretch there on the bottom. Don't know if that's going to bring out a caution.
Not seeing anything just yet.
Are you watching a replay?
Oh, Mark Bratcher turned it on the backstretch. He's on pit road at the moment. Looked like there was a couple cars, but it looks like he's got to pull down pit road there.
Let's see if we can take a look. Yeah, 946 and the 933.
Yeah,
Jump.
Butch Frazier going to go down another lap as a result, as he was passed by the leaders there.
Some good fighting going on right now. Keith Haney is not able to pull that gap like he was earlier. John Fershing Jr. has definitely got a little bit of pressure from Jason Wells in 3rd place. Sean Butler 4th place, Calvin Allison 5th, James Skelton in 6th.
Yeah, getting a little dicey up there as John Fershing Jr. looks to the inside of Haney.
Yeah, he's definitely, he wants to get that bonus point for leading a lap. He's looking for his first win of the season as well.
Yeah, advantage Fershing there for taking that low line. Kind of forced Keith to the outside by getting underneath him there, but makes it work.
It does lead that lap, so he picks up a bonus points for leading the lap. He's going to try and get away from Jason here, as Sean Butler is going to look under Keith as well. That strategy of not coming in and taking tires might have hurt him a little bit, as you see him drop back a little bit there. Sean's going to make that pass pretty easily on the inside. Calvin's going to look on the inside as well.
Yeah, Keith's car might not be handling very well. As we've seen him go backwards here.
Yeah, you get stuck on that outside, especially with a loose feeling car. You kind of just got to tippy toe around, and that lets these guys get in line and go underneath you. As
Calvin
Calvin
Allison spins.
spins. See if we can take a look. I don't see any contact.
No, I think he just got loose on the coming out of the 4 there. Yeah, he's gonna have a little work cut out for himself here.
Yeah, he dropped back to 23rd. He's still on the lead lap. Got to keep it together. I'm sure there'll be another caution. He'll have an opportunity to pull back through the pack, but yeah, no cautions tonight. You get in that grass and it's not throwing a caution, so you got to keep your stuff together. I put Sean Butler up into second place. He's looking to lead a couple laps here tonight. He's got Jason Wells in his sights. Thomas Keane is back up to 9th place in that 929 car. Is going to look underneath Timothy Lewis. Oh, gets contact there. Doesn't go quite. Slides it into the corner, but is able to save it. I'm going to put it back in the line here. 82 of Mike Abbott, 11th place. Looking to get kind of racy as these guys fight for position in front of them. Got some damage on that car. Front end's not looking too good. Side of the car's not looking too good. I'm sure it's not handling too well for him right now.
But the left side looks pretty good. I think it's the only part of the car that hasn't been completely damaged.
Yeah, as he gets into the 24. And that's
that's gonna leave a mark. You know, you gotta really hand it to the 82. Not that, not the incident per se, but he's been able to carry that sponsor of his, Bunny's Smoke Shop there. I believe is what is it called, Mike?
Bunny's Vape Lounge, yeah.
Yeah, Vape Lounge. Yeah, he's been able to carry that sponsor now for several weeks. So.
It's right on board with the 24. He was pretty low on the track for being on the outside. I don't know if the car gets loose maybe and he just comes down. Yeah, it doesn't look like it gets loose. But, definitely looked like he had some space on the outside of that track. But
yeah, just looked like engaged the plow at that point.
Yeah. All right, leaders on pit road. Looks like everybody. Pit road's pretty busy right now as cars are jumping in, jumping out.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Abbott's going to take that quick repair either. He's having the crew work on it, try to bang the damage out.
All right, that puts the 2 car in the lead lap. I believe he just led a lap there. Yep, gets himself a bonus point. He did come in. Looks like he took 2 tires as well.
You know, another interesting night for high rev racing. You know, we've got both the drivers in there. We've asked Mike, too, if they were looking to expand the driver pool or the stable. anytime soon. It looked like they're still that's still under discussion. I don't know, Dustin. You heard anything about that? High Rev expanding the garage a little bit for their team.
I definitely hadn't heard nothing per se, but those guys would definitely, you know, there's several drivers out there looking for a ride that those be a good team to be on. So definitely what I'd call our old school guys here. They've been around pretty much since the beginning, so definitely a good group of guys to race for if anybody's definitely looking somebody to join there.
Looking at our truck schedule, and you bring up a good point about teams. You know, with the truck schedule and the support series starting up, we have an opportunity where these big teams, you know, can really do a model like Hendricks and Joe Gibbs and get an additional set of cars in the truck series, you know, with different drivers. And you can see some of these Pro Series guys possibly go down there, be spotters, maybe give some pointers. And some of these teams have an opportunity to really kind of pass on their knowledge to other drivers. And, you know, I look forward to seeing that. Hopefully these guys step up and take that, you know, that different dynamic to racing here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to add something to the series for sure, and I'm kind of excited and looking forward to it. You know, we're going to try to prepare a couple trucks and get down there and race with those guys as well. So it's going to be definitely going to be a new exciting series for NAVSCAR, and it's definitely going to be a gateway here to the Pro Series.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe we'll even do a broadcast or two down there. We'll see. Pace car is in. Joshua Buckley is going to lead the field to the green flag for the first time this evening. Racing pretty hard behind him there. Sean Butler wants to get that second place position. He's looking underneath the 964 of Jason Wells. Going to try and make it stick down on the bottom there. Jason's running real high up against the fence when he's got a car underneath him like that. I see that. Good drive in there. 86 is going to use the opportunity to get down there too. No contact, but the Jason Wells does have a little bit of a jerk to the wheel there. Saw that car on the inside, didn't want to come down on him. Now that's what happens when you get stuck on that outside. We've seen it once, you know, already earlier in the race, but allows the guys to kind of line up underneath you. It's not like Bristol where they want the high side and you can kind of drive around on the high side. You get stuck on the low line. It's kind of opposite here.
It is, but we are starting to see a few cars actually kind of tease it out, see what it's like up there. Maybe their cars handle a little bit better. You know, one driver that is doing that is Mike Abbott, up several positions from where he started on the restart there, and he's having to run, not because, maybe because he wants to, but he is definitely running that higher line and getting around guys. So.
Yeah, you're right. We definitely see a couple guys use that higher line. Jason Keane has looked like he's, or Thomas Keane is looking like he's using that high line as well. But it's not looking like it's working for him. It looks like he just got frustrated behind the 54 and got up high, and that's going to allow, I believe, a car underneath him. No, he's able to drive back around Jonas Hankins. Oh no, we got a car driving through the grass.
There's a 15 of John Fershing Jr.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. John's back up to speed now in 21st position. Car still looks pretty good. Maybe he just got loose by himself.
Well, he's not the only one. I mean, we've seen Kelvin get loose there all by himself earlier in the race. So, you know, I was just going to talk about that because, you know, I'm surprised we don't honestly see more of it, because the one thing I noticed when I was out there on the with the test car was you have to really baby that throttle. You can't just jump in it, you know, and like you can with some of these other tracks where it's a little bit cooler and there's a lot of traction. I mean, you've got to gently bring that throttle up to or press it down gently.
Right. I think, you know, you bring up a good point that these cars, you know, when compared to the trucks or when compared to the, you know, the B-class cars, they're a lot more powerful. So, you know, the trucks you will be able to hammer down a lot better, a lot easier with the cars not spinning out. But here, you definitely got to baby it. You definitely got to get back on it gently. And even that you know, 5% throttle, 5 maybe 10% throttle backing off, it's gonna take a whole bunch of horsepower off the rear tires and definitely make the car a lot, you know, more comfortable, and probably save the right rear tire from burning up as well.
Well, let's talk about those guys that brought it back to the garage. You know, we've seen Scott Kidd, I believe he's taken that car. No, I'm
Scott
sorry.
Kidd's on the track. I got Kevin O'Brien, Mark Bratcher, and Nate LaFleur all put it in the garage here tonight.
Yeah, put it away.
Yeah, Mark was having that bad luck early on with those incidents. You know, he's now 28 laps down. Kevin O'Brien, again, probably just used up their quick repairs and can't be competitive, maybe frustrated. I know Mark's having some internet issues. That might have been the cause of some of his stuff earlier this evening, but he's parked it for the evening as we're about to turn halfway, lap 100 of our 200-lap race. Sean Butler right now, let's go ahead and look at our top 5. Sean Butler leading right now with a 6.6 second gap over the 86 of James Skelton. These guys are gonna, you know, battle out for the rest of this race if they have their way with it. These guys are pretty consistent. So, third place, Jason Wells. You can see him. He's about half a second back from James. Keith Haney is next in line, about a second off there, and then rounding out the top 5, we've got Keen. Total of about 3 seconds off the leader in that 5th place position. Joshua Buckley, 6th place.
Mike, I'm watching this battle here between the 8 and the 82 and the 15. You know, you got teammates there, one in front of the other, and then you got John Frisching Jr. trying to get both by both of them, and some real tight racing back there. Looks like the 82's looking on the inside of the 8. 15 might want to try to.
I don't know if you're the 15, man, and your car's looking, you know, nice and clean, and then you got these two guys racing in front of you, and they just look destroyed. Like, what goes through your head? Like, how do you get around these guys safely? As you can see them back it off and get behind them again. Let's ride on board with the 15.
Yeah, I was a little interested to see how that was going to play out. You know, Mike was really aggressive there on the restart, taking it, you know, 2 wide, 3 wide, and then all of a sudden just taking that outside lane. But yeah, I'm sure John wants to get around that 8 car here pretty quick.
Yeah, he's also, you know, he's a patient guy sitting in 18th position. He was back to like 25th after that self spin there, and you can see how or hear how easy he is on the throttle. You spoke to it again as the 8's going to get kind of shut up on the outside there as he gets that inside corner this time. You can see him turning right, trying to keep it straight. Good job there.
Yeah, and I think what we've seen there too, because the 82 got by the 8 awfully fast. It didn't look like the 8 was extending that same courtesy.
Oh no, for sure. Those guys, the 8 and the 82, have worked together in the past. I believe they are still teammates. So these guys are gonna, you know, hey, you're faster, let it go. He's not gonna let that 15 go by as easily, but now that he's by him, he's pulling away from him.
Yeah, and looking to track down that 82. Which is interesting because the 82 is right behind Chris Sharp again, who they were involved in an earlier incident. I believe they're the ones that brought out the last caution.
Yeah, we'll see how they play when they get close to each other, but still a bit of a gap between those two. Well, it's closing now.
I was gonna say, I know that gap just closed.
Let's take a look. We'll watch this as these guys look to get around each other here. 82 is going to use that low line.
Yeah, Chris kind of being a little bit conservative, running that high line. I mean,
did work for him though. He was able to gap him there a little bit. 82 does get the corner, but you know the 24 gets off the corner pretty decently.
Yeah, he's carrying that speed through the corner. That's nice on exit.
You can definitely see the difference in line. The 82 is right on that yellow line through the corner. The 24 is drifting up. Oh, he took it way wide that time.
But it seems to be working for him, honestly.
I think that one was a little too wide. The 82 was able to get that inside line, but I still don't know if he's going to be able to make this pass this time. Maybe this time. think the 82 got him to the start-finish line, but he still hasn't completed the pass. That 24 is fighting back on the outside.
Yeah, I don't think Chris is interested in just letting him go, but we do see him get by.
He does look like he changes his line there to the inside as soon as he does get by.
Looks like Tim Lewis has brought the car to the garage.
Yeah, he just, looks like he just parked it. Not sure what happened, though. Calvin Allison in the 28 car, currently 10th place, looking underneath the Joshua Buckley there for the 10th position. Sorry, the 9th position. 28 is, you know, still a top 5 car right now in speed-wise. He's trying to get back up to that position after that spin and the pit stops that he had to take. But he was able to make that pass pretty cleanly. 9th place, looking now to 8th with the 11 of William Long. 7 car is going to use that opportunity to jump underneath the 2 car here. He's fighting pretty hard. We're going to have 3 wide. Looks like the 28 gets real high there.
Yeah, it's good to see the 7 going there. I was a little concerned, scratching my head a little bit there towards the beginning of the race. Nelson kind of just hanging back in the back part of the field, and Calvin gets into him and puts him in the wall hard.
Yeah, that was a tough one there. Definitely not intentional. I know these guys have raced pretty close. Did we get a caution?
Yes, caution is out.
Let's take a look at this replay.
Yeah, Calvin just a little bit faster.
Yeah, I think the 7 just kind of came up a little bit and...
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to do the slide job on him.
Yeah,
and,
maybe. There was just
enough
barely enough room, and Calvin doesn't get off the gas quick enough. I don't know if that was... I don't think it was an intentional slide job. I think the 7 kind of... maybe he overdrove the corner just a little bit, trying to get that extra runoff, and there just wasn't enough room there. But that's going to bring out another caution on lap 115.
Yeah, that was definitely door, bumper, and then there was no clear.
Nope, definitely still a bumper.
Yeah, Nelson's car definitely took some damage on that one. That front end's looking pretty tore up. Not too bad, actually, to be quite honest with you, but actually the guys might be able to hammer that one out. I'm only seeing some damage there on that left front quarter panel.
Did he not take a quick repair? Is there still damage to that car? It looks pretty good to me.
Oh, you're right, he did. I was just looking at a previous camera view of him coming into the pit. So
yeah,
I'm kind of surprised at that. He didn't have a whole lot of damage, but maybe he was just felt it was smart to just take the quick repair now. But he's definitely got fresh car, so
yeah. You definitely mentioned it early though. These guys, you know, don't have a lot of time to bang out that sheet metal, so maybe he just wanted to, you know, take his licks, get his car cleaned up, and back out there. He is able to come back out in 14th position, where Calvin Allison right now, he's still in 9th. I wonder how his car looks. I don't think there'd be too much damage, just a little nose damage there maybe. Yeah, the front end looks... That left front's got a bit of damage, but it's not too bad. These guys are...
If I'm not mistaken, Nelson's driving that Communication Workers of America Ford out there tonight, so good looking car.
Yes, it is. Except it's a Ford.
That is a true statement.
But definitely a nice paint scheme there. He's representing NAVSCAR on the back as well. Love seeing that from our drivers. We do appreciate it. Let's talk about real quick. We'll talk a little bit more about our trucks. So the way that we've started our trucks off this season, or in a couple weeks, it's actually going to mirror the iRacing schedule. So basically, if iRacing is running Talladega in the trucks for a week, our race will happen the Monday after that week. So you'll have a full week in the truck at the track on iRacing to, you know, get some seat time, jump in those official races, figure out the feel of the truck, and then Monday jump in the NAVSCAR race. So that gives everyone a lot of time to, you know, get some practice times in and take advantage of the schedule. So we kind of try to design it that way as we're going back to green here. Whoa, Haney gets real loose there. It looks like he spun the tires, but again, gets it moving.
Yeah, I was kind of wanting to see James Skelton kind of capitalize on that restart, but Sean Butler able to get out there and get out in front of him.
Yeah, Sean Butler, again, one of the best restart guys we have in our league, and if you give him an opportunity, he's going to jump and he's going to get out there, and you know, we already see him at a half a second lead as Jason Wells is going to go around James Skelton there pretty easily. Wow, Keith Haney just closing the door on Calvin Allison there. See how these guys get... looks like Calvin's going to get that inside line this time.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're seeing him be a little bit more aggressive. I was kind of wondering when that would start kicking in.
Well, you got to fight for that inside line. It's been working, you know, and you don't want to get stuck out on the outside. And if you are stuck on the outside, you got to fight to get back on the inside. And we can see that happening a little bit more aggressive now as we're at lap 123.
Caution is out.
Looks like it was the 977 once again. Oh, car looks like a handful. I'm not sure what happened there. You don't usually see someone spin in that location.
Yeah, some pretty heavy nose damage on that car after hitting the inside wall.
You can definitely see coming on the front stretch here. We'll probably see car gets loose, but he does save it, and then it just kind of gradually comes out on him right here. So loose, but saves it, and then back in the throttle, and then just it comes around again. So there was some front end damage already. I don't know if that came into play, but looks like everybody else was able to avoid it. Couple cars coming in to get some work done on their cars. So you're Sean Butler right now. We're on lap 126. I think we're within a fuel window now if you were to come down. What's your game plan for the rest of this race?
I'm still holding off, to be quite honest with you. I don't, to me it's way too early. I know 30 laps will click off pretty fast if we keep it under caution, but these, you know, I don't see it because first it was the cars getting loose, the people getting used to the track. Now we got people getting used to the track and the cars getting under control. But now you've got another factor that's coming in where these guys are just getting more aggressive because they know we're getting closer to the end of the race. So, and it's you know, whether it's true or not, they feel like it's go time for some of these drivers. So I don't think we've seen the end of the cautions. I think for sure we're going to see it up into the 150, 160 range, and that's when I'm going to start making my move. I don't know. What do you think, Dustin?
Yeah, I still think you got plenty of time. Some of these guys, you know, have been fast. Guys at the front have been up here all night, so it's going to be interesting. You know, this is another short track, so anything can happen. But Sean Butler looks strong right now, so I'm definitely looking for him to stay up front and stay out of trouble and just try to drive away from this field.
Was just taking a look. NASCAR actually posted a link of Dale Earnhardt cleaning his own windshield during a race. I don't think we're going to see that tonight in ours.
We do have 3 Dale Earnhardt cars in the lineup tonight. That Intimidator car is getting some use there. We can see the 8 and the 983 both running different versions of that car.
Well, you know, I know, like you said, we got a few cars out here that are running the Intimidator paint scheme, but, you know, when I think of Intimidator, you know, I'm thinking of Calvin Allison, Josh Buckley, Sean Butler, some of those guys. But speaking of Calvin Allison, he about lost it there. Surprised he was able to even get that car going again.
929's being super aggressive there, right on the bumper of the 86 car. Inside Corey Wharton, wow, gets loose, but is able to keep it together. Still loose, still fighting that car.
Yeah, and you can tell they are. They're getting just a way more aggressive. We got cars checking up on the inside. We got one around. Jay Adair into the inside wall. Collects about 4 or 5 cars there.
Ooh, this is a big one right here.
Yeah, he got some help, I believe, but the whole inside line was just checking up.
Yeah, the 983 checked up, and
then calamity ensued.
Yep.
Will Long looked like that car is destroyed.
Yeah, it looks like the 8 kind of spooked the 983 there, which got him to check up. And you're right, there's a couple innocent bystanders there caught up in the back of the pack.
So this is going to be interesting because I don't know if you guys have been noticing here lately, but we've had some drivers complain about their car blowing up. But when we've gone back and taken a look at the replay, they've had front end damage that they didn't get fixed, or they didn't get fixed well enough, which caused the car to overheat. And so it'll be interesting to see what Will does here.
Yeah, people forget that if you have that front end damage, it really upsets the airflow to that radiator, and you'll definitely heat up a car. You got to monitor those temps. But just a little damage to the front end can definitely put your engine in a bad place by the end of this race. It's pretty long.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Will's coming out after that one. He's definitely having to work on it, but I can hear the engine off, and it looks like Jay Dare's looks like he's retired that car for this evening. So yeah, he's going.
William is
going back
he's
out.
coming back out. That car looks it's not going to run too long, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. Especially if you could take a in-car shot of that and see what he's seeing. He's looking at a jacked up front end, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Calvin Allison was also involved in that, and I don't know that he got a whole lot of damage, but he definitely got hit.
Yeah, his car does look okay. The 82 car looks mighty good. The 977 car does not look good. Scott Kidd is missing a front end. I think he should probably park that car.
Yeah, it always reminds me of those Bristol races where you see those cars running around with no hood on them. Yeah, we'll have to monitor that, see if we can keep up the speed. I know in the race before Texas we had talked about, you know, those guys, if they couldn't maintain a speed, we were going to black flag them. So where are we going to next week, Mike?
One of my favorites, man. Largest track on the circuit.
Dega.
Talladega. Lots of lanes, man. You can run wherever you want. You can run super flat out. Well, should be exciting. I love seeing that draft in racing that what we see at the super speedways. As the car pulls in.
And if you're not first, you're last.
Or yeah, basically.
Talladega Nights.
Oh, some close racing between the 999 and the 929.
You know what I like doing, Mike? I like watching the race on Sunday and looking at their marks. I like to follow Dale Earnhardt Jr. and I noticed when he's coming off the gas and on some of these tracks, getting into the corner, and see how the other drivers are doing it here in our NAVSCAR Racing League. It's pretty similar, and it's kind of interesting too because we're seeing some of these cars with their braking points, when they're coming off the gas, being pretty similar to what we're seeing in real life.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a correlation between the real life and the iRacing. At least they pride themselves of being as close as closest to the real thing as you can get. So you know the lines might be a little bit different, but I think the braking points and the gas points are pretty close. Looks like that.
David.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, David Howard Jr. You know, up 7 positions, up to the 7th spot. It's kind of, you know, he's been in the back the whole night, and all of a sudden, bam, top 10. Hopefully that works out for him.
Yeah, I got 60 laps to go. It's going to wind down here real quick, especially if we stay in line in green flag conditions right now. John Fershing is up to 6. He was fighting a loose car there last lap. He's been fighting that loose car all night, I think, as everybody has been. But he's got to be happy with that recovery so far. He's just you know, looking to get a couple more spots and be challenging for that win. Keith Haney, again, back to 8th. Looking on the inside of the 917 of David Howard Jr.
Yeah, and I'm still seeing some of these guys try to make that outside line work, and it's just not. It does it with a couple cars, couple drivers, maybe just because of the condition their car is in. But when you get a equally paired car there, it just is. It's not even a fair race, to be honest with you.
Watching right now the 7 of Nelson Rivera, you can see how he checks up when he runs pretty close to the 54. He did check up a little bit quicker just to make sure he didn't run into him, but he's able to pull right back off the corner, and that shows that if you get a good entry, you can check up or ahead of the guy in front of you and still be able to race him off the corner.
Yeah, John Fershing Jr. too, making his way up towards the front.
Yeah, looks like he just got around the 999 of Corey Wharton's top 5 right now.
These guys are a little bit off the pace from our fastest lap. We had talked about James Skelton holding that, but that fastest lap has been transferred to Jason Wells. Jason Wells ran a 22.188 for the best lap of the race. So, but James Skelton, I was just talking about him, ran the fastest lap that last lap.
Yeah, top 3 cars right now are consistently running 22.6s. Thomas Keane in 4th. Looks like he ran a 22.7 that last time by. Let's see what these guys do this time by. Yeah, 22.6 for the leader, 22.7 for 2nd place, and then 6 is on back to 5th. Some consistent times here from the top 5. You can see a gap now growing between 4th and 5th.
Caution's out.
Did we see what brought that out? Looks like the 72 might be trapped on pit road there.
No, I did not see what brought that out.
Will Long had a bit of front end damage, but I don't know if that's from another incident. I haven't seen anything yet. Oh, there it is. 949 in the 8 car. Yeah, it looks like the 949 gives that 8 car a little bit of a tap on that inside quarter panel. It looks like the 8 car checks up because of the 82, and yep, just maybe entered the entered the corner a little too hot. Looks like he gets onto the brakes, but you know, when you get on the brakes entering a corner like that, it's going to cause the car to push up, and it just pushes up right to the outside of that 8 car, and that's why the caution comes out.
Yeah, Jeff Sharp just kind of, you know, like you said, just got into him a little bit there, but I want to say no harm, no foul, but when it gets down to the latter part of the race, maybe the driver of the 8 car might not see it that way, but
let's take this caution break to give our sponsors one more shout out before we finish up this race.
Mitochondria. We all got them. They're the powerhouses that energize our bodies. But people who have mitochondrial disease can't produce enough energy to walk, talk, see, or breathe. Things you and I take for granted. Every 30 minutes, a child is born who will develop mitochondrial disease before their teenage years. So power up with me. Walk for the children and adults who can't. You have the power to give them the energy to live. Show up for an Energy for Life walkathon in your community.
Once again, we encourage all of our viewers tonight to go to www.umdf.org. Give whatever you can spare to this great cause. You can hit that button, give today. There's also things that go, you can do walkathons in your community, a way to get pledges and add some money to this good cause. Once again, does affect a couple of our race car drivers directly, and we look forward to hopefully driving a little bit of support to that cause. Thanks again to Josh Buckley and Dustin Phillips Motorsports for sponsoring tonight's race, and we hope to have them back here again in the future.
Well, that last incident put Brent Rogers in the garage as he retires that car for this evening. Not only was he involved in that incident, he also, I don't know if intentionally or just had some problems getting into pit road and put it into the barrels at the end, and sustained even more damage. So that car is done for tonight, and you know, hopefully we'll see Rogers out here next week competing for a win.
Alright, looks like the cars are going to be double file here. Sean Butler, Jason Wells, top 2 cars right now. "50 laps to go." If it wasn't aggressive go time, you know, before this, it is definitely now. So we'll see how these guys do.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, if I'm Jason Wells, I'm hungry for a win. You know, sitting on the outside there. He's definitely going to want to get out in front of Sean, but we'll see how Sean's here on the start box. Good start there by Butler, but Wells hangs in.
That 929 is looking to lead a lap here tonight. He hasn't. He's been fighting top 5 cars all race, but he can see that leader right now. He's looking to take advantage of that late in the race. It's actually the only car top 5 that has not led a lap so far.
Yeah, Jason Wells either wants to let him go or get down in front of him. He doesn't want to be hanging out there on that outside line.
No, I agree. You got to be real careful out there, especially when you're going to have a guy aggressively run those corners on the inside. You want to be comfortable, and hopefully those cars can keep on the shoulder. Looks like he's going to make that pass. Oh, he's still going to fight back on the outside, that outside line.
Yeah, and if he can make it work, more power to him. I mean, as he pulls up on the door of Thomas Keene there.
Now
he almost got some help from the 54.
54, he's like, I'm going to take that space. I want to make this pass as well. So, don't know if he's going to get it on this one. We'll see.
Yeah, it would be very advantageous for Jason Wells to get down on that lower line, and he gets help. He gets help. And he is around. Caution is out.
Yeah, that cars were checking up there. We can see the 929 checks up. That causes the 964 to check up, which just a slight little tap there by the 54. Keith is probably already apologizing on that one. He doesn't like doing that. Let's ride from inside his car and see what he saw.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's apologizing, but I don't know that was necessarily his fault.
Yeah, it looks like the car just gets loose in front of him. That caused him to check up, and he wasn't expecting that. And you don't really expect mid-corner for the car to check up on exit. The guys are supposed to be getting back into the gas, and that's just what happens. I wouldn't really call that any fault on Keith either.
I'm kind of surprised we didn't see more cars come down, to be quite honest with you. But,
yeah, with 44 laps to go, I think you're right. Unless they're thinking we're going to get another one.
Yeah, or they're really putting a lot of emphasis on position here. But I would have expected to see some cars after maybe the 8th place, 5th place car come in. We've only seen a couple of them come in, so.
You heard any feedback from pit road there, Dustin? About anything tonight?
No feedback at all, really. Hadn't heard a lot. Out on pit road tonight, had some issues with some communication, so riding along and just kind of excited to see how this race ends up. It's been a good battle so far.
Yeah, 43 laps to go. Should get ourselves hopefully an entertaining finish here.
Been enjoying hearing y'all call the race tonight. It's been a good job of both of you.
We enjoy it, but hey, man, speak up. You do a great job as well. And silence.
It looks like Jason Wells is just going to continue to come down there, have him work on that back end of the car. He backed it in there pretty good. We see some, looks like he's missing that whole rear end.
Front end looks okay. Front end's definitely more important at this track than the rear end, but you will lose some downforce when you got air coming off the back like that. Yeah, that's there is no rear deck plate. Bumper's gone. Whoever's running behind him got to be real careful. You, that cage, you can put a hole in your radiator pretty easily. Alright, lights are off. We're going to come back with 40 laps to go as we take the green.
Yeah, let's see if Sean can get that another good restart. I mean, he's been doing it all night tonight. Obviously, he doesn't have Jason Wells out there, but I know Thomas Keeney is one hell of a wheelman himself. And I know Sean and Thomas know each other from other leagues, and so I have no doubt that Thomas is going to run him hard.
Let's go ahead and ride on board with the 54 of Keith Haney. Whoa!
Look at that! Look at that! I told you. Oh,
we're wrecking behind.
I knew that. I knew Thomas Keene was not going to go easy on Sean Butler on that restart.
I think Sean just spins the tires. Which,
well, not only did he spin the tires, but Thomas Keene did a smart thing. I haven't seen anybody do that. He pulled up right on the door on him.
Yeah, it definitely made him uncomfortable, and that causes the guys behind him to check up, and that just accordions on back, and that hate to see that for Calvin. And anybody else who got collected in that one.
Yeah, hearing some radio traffic, just like you called the mic, Sean saying that he short shifted into third and spun the tires, so that's why we got the caution. But Thomas Keene took advantage of it, and he was on him, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He was not going to give him any room. He was right on his door, which you have to be. You don't want to give him, you know, that extra space at the top of the track to dive into the corner.
So Sean's going to have his work cut out for him. Ooh, looked like Sean was actually going to think about going in there. He chose not to.
I don't know, you're spinning the tires, man. You might want to come and get some fresh ones. Looks like we got a bit more takers here this time around. Calvin's going to come in and get that car worked on. Doesn't look like he has a quick repair. Used it up, so... We got a car smoking on pit road, too. Another blown engine.
Well, you know, the driver's got a little time now to think about it. I think Calvin sustained some pretty big damage there on that restart, but these guys have had a chance to re-strategize now, and when we get ready to go green, I think we're going to see him go at it again.
Now, if you're John Frisching starting in fourth, how are you going to treat this restart?
I'm going to be as aggressive as the guys around me. I mean, I don't... if he lays back, he's got James Skelton right there. He's got Josh Buckley, Mike Abbott, David Howard Jr. He cannot lay back, and he's got to get down to that lower line.
Yeah, starting on the outside, you know, you definitely got to be you got to be super aggressive, get that low line. Let's see how it goes.
Well, yeah, and absolutely, and I mean, we hear the regular NASCAR drivers talk about it. I mean, you heard Dale Earnhardt Jr. talk about, you know, being kind of I don't want to say upset, but you know, it's just racing. It's where you start on the restart. Sometimes that outer line is where you want to be. Sometimes it's the inside line, and tonight it's the inside line. So it's where you want to be, and you got to make the most of it when you can. So I would expect Thomas Keene to be on that throttle as quick as he can. And I think John Fershing Jr. and Keith Haney there are going to have their hands full because Butler and Skelton are not going to give them the room. I can almost guarantee that. And then I would even throw Buckley in the mix. They're not going to give up that lower line. I mean, I think that time for, give and take, the give is gone. It's time to take those positions.
Well, we're going to see how this plays out here. Hopefully, we're going to get this pace car in one last time. 33 laps to go once we come back to green. Let's keep an eye on the 929 and the 54 in that front row. Sean Butler and John Fershing in the second row. Corey Wharton and James Skelton in that third row as we go back to green. 86 is looking on the inside.
Yeah, real good start there by Skelton. 3 wide going into 1. Wasn't sure that was going to work out.
No, you can see Skelton kind of backs off a bit, but gets an okay run off the corner. 999 is going to use that to run on the outside here.
Butler still continues to be loose, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one's coming and get tires. Like, he's super loose spinning the tires. That's not good for him either. And it looks like he's fighting that car right now pretty hard.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he came out of 2 there, and the car started to get squirrely on him.
And Keith Haney's back out front. Last time we saw him out front, he was able to pull away from the field in that clean air. But this time he's got the 929 behind him, so we'll see how that goes with 32 laps to go.
Boy, those guys back there just behind him are getting really aggressive. We just seen Mike Abbott take him 3 wide and 3 and 4.
Yeah, we got 2 real good battles going on right now. Calvin Allison is in that second group fighting 2 wide here. Looks like they're gotten straightened out in that first group. They're now in line, but they're still fighting 2 wide through 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Yeah, Abbott and David Howard Jr. continue to run side by side. Something that has got to give there is Fershing Jr. Checking up and going backwards.
Yeah, Corey Wharton as well on the inside line. They're kind of backing up to these group as they're racing pretty hard behind them.
Yeah, that's they left one mess and right into another one.
Yeah,
so.
they're about to be swallowed by another one for sure. 999 is getting real close to that bumper of the 2 car. But
well, those two, they really love each other. They respect each other out on the track. We see it race after race, so we expect nothing but clean racing there.
Oh yeah, these guys, and after the race they have this, they have a team briefing and talk about all the great moves that they did together. As we see the 82 bounce off the wall.
Well, he's probably going to continue to do that if he keeps trying to take him 3 wide. He's been running that outside line. I'd like to see him get down a little bit lower, but I'm not sure if that's going to work out for him just where he's at in the race.
2 cars putting pressure on the 15 of John Fershing Jr. He's going to try and get a nose in. Does get it done.
Ooh. Yeah, and the 999 wants to take advantage of it. Doors open.
Yeah, you definitely got to... Whoa, man, you got to jump on it. He's going to run him down, though. Runs him down to the apron, and 999 is going to let him know he's here, not happy about it.
Yes, Keith Haney is working over Thomas Keene. He's going to lead this lap.
Actually, Thomas Keene, he's working over Keith Haney. Keith Haney was leading that race.
Yeah, they're side by side, door banging a little bit.
Whoa, look at how loose he gets. Oh, just door slams him because he gets loose. The 929 does a great job of keeping it off the inside wall, but that's going to put him back to 5th place.
And now Sean Butler's licking his chops, looking at Keith Haney saying, yeah, I like that move.
Yeah, do that.
Might want to try that one out myself.
I'll just go on the outside here. Maybe I got a loose car, man. I can do that too.
Yeah, and Skelton's just sitting back there with Jason Wells saying, yeah, let's let these two go at it, and we'll take advantage.
Yeah, Jason Wells is able to keep pretty competitive times here with no back end. I'm sure that car is not very comfortable, but...
Well, no major damage to the spoiler. Looks like he got that pounded down, but yeah, he's missing the back end, but no real effects that we can see from it.
Yeah, he looks okay. Definitely much different than a car with no front end. 100% sure about that. 86 is going to look on the inside there. It's going to make that car stick.
Around.
Yeah, for sure. James has done a great job running on that yellow line, but you can see he just doesn't get the speed off the corner, and the 919 is able to, you know, complete the block or the save there.
And Calvin Allison is moving into the picture. Yeah,
he's up to 6th place, even with that damaged car, that back end not looking too good. He's got some spoiler damage, but even front end damage, that car is in rough shape, but still turning quick laps. He was faster than the leader that last time.
Yeah, and Skeleton's kind of paying the price for pushing the scenario there. Now he's going to possibly get swallowed up by Jason Wells there.
Yeah, it looks like Jason is making that pass on the inside here, but we could see the 86 drive off the corner. Unless he pulls a slide job. Not able to do it, though. Did not clear the car, so was not able to slide up. And that's going to have him, 86, fight back on the outside. Again, some great side-by-side racing here. Battle for third. Wow, gets real loose. 964 does not miss a step there. Is able to save the car.
Caution is out.
We got Daniel Haney turned around. Let's see if we can see what happened. Daniel Haney looks like... Does he get some help there?
From the 82.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the 82 caused the wreck, but he definitely finished it. But
yep,
you can't blame him for that. He was the 930 was spinning out.
Yeah, that wasn't Mike's fault. It was just like you said. He was going around. He just got a little help getting there a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But you know, I was watching the 82 there. Boy, he's been 3 wide. He's been on that high line, and when I mean the high line, he's been in the 3rd groove there.
Yep.
in some of these corners, so he's trying to get everything he can out of that. But you know, he's not alone. I just heard Pershing Jr. come over the radio saying, you know, he's over driving the car and he knows he is, and he's just you know, it's just a product of being down here in the last 19 laps or so. So any takers?
Looks like we had a bunch of guys come down.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, this is gonna be interesting. A lot of tires taken, and that's gonna be good for a lot of people. But at the same time, everybody on the same set of tires, condition-wise, it's. I have a feeling we're not done with the cautions. Boy, it's kind of crazy with that 930 Daniel Haney going around. That thing just, you know, he's probably on the brake there, but that thing just kept going around like it was on ice.
So once things get sorted out here, we should have the 964 of Jason Wells leading the lap. Calvin Allison on the outside line, or
P2.
Second place, yeah. But he didn't come in. Everybody else came in, so it looks like he's going to have his hands full.
Well, he's going to have his hands full, but I think the people behind him are going to have their hands full with him as well. So I think it's a mutually exclusive deal. I do think, though, that we're getting far enough down there that if he's not fast enough, I'm sure somebody will remind him that he's not. Let's see here. Do we have lights off on the caution car?
Lights are off. We're going to be going back to green with 13 laps to go. Man, that 28's not... let's just say it's seen better days.
It's seen better days, but honestly, he was in sixth moving forward.
Yeah, he was definitely a quick car. We'll see. It'll definitely be interesting to see how this plays out.
I think the advantage goes to the other drivers just for the newer tires, but to be honest with you, I never got a chance to drive with older tires, but I knew newer tires, they were slick, so maybe he feels that there's an advantage with some air pressure in there already.
Yes.
Maybe, go some scuffs or something. Good restart here by these guys. Allison just takes him real high with Haney pressing hard. Haney having to check up. Caution is out.
2 cautions.
And a big time wreck as Allison is involved in that one. Not really sure what happened there. Looks like the first incident was Abbott in the 82 getting into Brian Wynn. That was the first incident.
Second incident, the incident up front was Calvin getting loose in front of the pack, I believe.
Ooh, involves Keith Haney in that. Yeah, Haney went to the outside on that one. That was just a really odd wreck.
Yeah, there's no contact in the corner. It looks like the 82 or the 28 just gets a little loose on exit, but there's definitely no contact there. And yeah, he goes to the outside, but Calvin was like not saving it. I don't think. Maybe if Haney wasn't there, 28 might have been able to save it, but it would have stacked that outside up line up pretty bad. See if we can take a look at the other incident. Yeah, the 00 was into the 968 of Nick Payne.
Well, this really kind of changes the layout of the field.
Yeah, I don't know if it looks like the 968 maybe came down the track. Alright, so right now we've got Jason Wells, Thomas Keane, Sean Butler, Nelson Revere, and John Frisching top 5.
You know who got involved in that and in a really bad way is DPM driver James Skelton. Boy, that car got tore up. Moves him way back in the field too. I believe he had a toe on that one as well. Showing Skelton back in the 19th position. Is that what you're showing as well?
Yep, 19th.
Any word on the team radio there, Dustin?
Yeah, we can't say nothing on over the broadcast about it.
Fair enough. Well, it makes things interesting. Got top 5 drivers here: Jason Wells, I believe Thomas Keane, Sean Butler, Nelson Rivera, and John Frisching Jr. Taking up those top 5 positions. Now, I believe Calvin came in and got tires, did he not?
I assume he would have come down and get the car worked on a little bit.
Well,
He's got no back end either now.
He's got no back end, but if he's got fresh tires, he's still sitting in, what, 6th position? 5th? 6th? 7th position, sorry.
Well, 964 spins his tires, and that's...
Takes out Nelson. Big time. Ooh, a lot of cars involved in that one.
This is like a demolition derby.
Well, that pretty much took out almost half the field. You know, if you're one of these top 5 cars, you got to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I guess they would be happy about it. I don't know if they like seeing this kind of stuff at any point, but if it secures you a top 5 finish.
Yeah, I'm hoping my pick, Nelson Rivera, will be able to get back on there. Boy, hope he's okay in that car. Yeah, that was a pretty nasty wreck. And what about Mike Abbott? That guy has been fighting all night, up 16 positions to the 8th spot now as a result of that wreck.
Yeah, at this point, these cars are just trying to get around.
Didn't look like Nelson's got any quick repairs. Looks like he's in there for the long haul getting that car worked on. That is a really tough break there for Nelson.
So I guess we're going to get a couple laps. Whether we actually take them, we'll see.
Yeah, the 964, I'm not sure if he started out with a lower gear or what, but that car just slammed into the car on the outside and then slammed into Nelson, so on that restart.
Yeah, it looks like the 919 got into him, but like it looks like he either does a gear change. I don't know if he might have started at a lower gear. I'm not sure, but it definitely looks like he gets off the gas like just all of a sudden, and the 919 gets into him.
So we definitely had some people retire after that one. Keith Haney has brought that car after running up front all night long. Brings that car to the garage. Dan Haney retires. James Skelton retires. Jonas Hankins retires. So got a few cars in the garage. Hopefully they're not looking for each other.
I don't know. Are we good now? The lights are still on, so I guess this race is over.
I believe it's over. Yeah, we're hearing a lot of radio traffic to Thomas Keene there.
As in, congratulations?
As in, congratulations.
Okay. Yes.
And now it looks like Nelson has brought that car to the garage because there's no point in bringing it back out. And I will tell you that I'm absolutely amazed that John Frisching Jr. found his way through that last incident.
Yeah, he's gonna bring me home a 3rd place finish. That's good to see from my pick there. He was all over the track here, but kept it clean, kept it safe, and drove through a couple incidents. Hate seeing them finish under caution like this, but in this case, we probably would have finished under caution anyways.
I think going forward, and I don't know what Dustin's thoughts are on this, but I'm pretty sure we're going to give you a 100-point deficit the next time we start making our picks.
Right. Well, we will reset going into round 2 for sure. $9.29 Thomas Heen, $9.19 Sean Butler, and $15 of John Furshing Jr. is going to round out the top 3. Buckley and Allison 4th and 5th. Let's go ahead and bring down our winner. Thomas, man, hey, no one likes to win under caution, but you know, seeing how the last 20 laps went, I'm sure you're happy to come home with this victory and lock yourself into the chase. Tell us about your race.
It was interesting. I mean, I didn't think I was gonna. To tell you the honest, I didn't think I was gonna win this thing tonight. You know, I mean, although Richmond has always been a, you know, good track for me, just I never really became good friends with the day, and so I was just looking for a good top 10 finish and continuing the strong run that I've had here ever since I've joined besides Texas, and you know. Coming down to the race, I just kind of kept the car clean, and yeah, it was a little bit bumpy halfway through the race there, but with 20 laps to go, I decided to take 2 tires. I mean, it worked at Auto Club, and I was hoping it would work here, and it did. And I don't know how I saved on those 2 restarts with Sean and Jason got loose, so I'll take it. But I really thought I was done there after it was, but I'll take it, and it feels good to be locked into the chase. And I know we've had fast cars, so we'll see what we can give them here come Chicagoland here in the fall.
Yeah, I'll have to tell you this, Jamie, here in the booth. You know, I was really impressed on that restart when you got the chance outside of Tom Butler there. You were able to just pull alongside of them, and I know he short shifted and spun the tires, but man, you gave him a run for his money, and I knew you would. I know when you get the opportunity to get up there in front, you're not going to give it up easy. But can you speak to that restart at all?
Yeah, I mean, you know, me and Sean, we're always good racing buddies. We've been racing each other hard for at least 2.5 years. You know, ever since our good old days at an old league of ours. And you know, me and Sean, we always know what we're gonna expect out of one another. So I know how much I can push him, and he knows how much he can push me. And it's always good racing. I guess Sean, you know, he makes one of those rare mistakes. Because usually when you race Sean Butler, you're like, he's never gonna make a mistake. You're expecting, you know, to give all your 110% just to race him. Because Sean just does so good. And I guess. There's this rare mistakes you need to capitalize on. He had one here tonight, and I guess he just got on the gas too early, and it's, you know, God was with me tonight when he, you know, put his hands on mine and let me save it. So I have to appreciate him being there for me. But yeah, Sean just looks like he just got loose, and so did Jason. I was able there to capitalize it, and I was happy I was, you know, being that right moment. But yeah, it was one of those rare mistakes by Sean, so you definitely got to capitalize on those.
Well, great momentum going into next week. We're heading to Talladega, out to that super speedway. So great momentum there. Hopefully we'll see you in the draft next week.
Yeah, okay, looking forward to it. It's, the new draft here a little bit, you know, you're able to run the pack now, and it's not where you have to worry about stars as much. So should see some good 2-3 wide racing hopefully, and it should be fun.
Well, we look forward to seeing you next week, and once again, congratulations on your first win here at NAVSCAR.
All right, thank you guys, and thank you, our Lord God and Savior Jesus Christ, for being with me tonight. Thank you guys, appreciate it.
All right, let's bring down second place finisher Sean Butler. 1 second. Sean, second place. I'm sure you wish you could have got those last couple laps under green. Looks like you were fighting a loose car there, especially at the end. Tell us about your race. Sean.
Yeah, the Mountain Dew diet. Mountain Dew Nationwide Chevy was real fast tonight, and I was a lot better on the long runs. I couldn't charge the corners as hard as some of those guys, and or else I would get real loose. And I just want to apologize to Jason there again for that little poke. I didn't mean to poke him on that restart, and just a bad time to do it. And I was just trying to stay up close to him, try to keep Thomas Keene up there on the high side, and got a little over anxious there on that start, so I apologize to him for that. But congrats to Thomas for the win, and it was a good race. I mean, we had lots of green flag runs, and it was a lot of guys where it seemed like we were running the same speeds and stuff once we got some laps on the tires, and we had some good runs and some good racing out there tonight.
Yeah, that's interesting because it was one of those things too where we were watching the replay of that restart where I didn't think you got into him, honestly, because on my replay it showed that there was a gap between the cars, but we have seen that a couple times during the evening. But you know, you had a lot of praise from our winner tonight, Thomas Keene. We were talking about the restart where he was on the outside of you, and you short shifted in the third there, got a little spun the tires, but he ran you pretty hard. But you know, throughout the night, a good race for you.
Yeah, I'll take a second here. I mean, starting out practice, I really didn't think I'd be racing up at the front, and then I just kind of started backing up my corners, and you know, I wasn't laying down the fastest laps, but it sure did help me just stay consistent, and that's what it took here. And a couple times on those restarts, I was able to jump out front and get away from everyone a little bit, and then you know, trying to lap some cars. Skelton got a little aggressive there, but that's fine. I understand why he did it. He wanted to get out and lead some laps, and I was fine with that. But it's just kind of, I was like, oh, I'll just wait for these guys to sort it out. And here comes James. I'm like, oops, I guess he wants to go in the front.
Yeah, I don't know if it worked out too well for him this evening. You know, he did try to get that position, but at the end of the day, it didn't really work out for him. But overall, good place, second place finish for you tonight. We got Talladega coming up next week. A lot of people are excited about that. Get back to the super speedway. So good momentum going into week 2, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy watching the broadcast, and look forward to next week.
Yeah, it should be an interesting one, man. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, let's bring our third place finisher, the 15 of John Fershing Jr. John, buddy, you were my pick tonight. You did bring it home for me, third place finish. Looked like it was a struggle, but you were at the back, you were at the front, you were all around. You kept the car clean, and you were able to avoid the madness at the end and pull off with a third place finish. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it was eventful, that's for sure. I'm sure everybody knows I'm not a huge fan of short tracks. I don't really run that well. I just, you know, got lucky, kept the car clean tonight, even though I tried to wreck it. I was going out off of 4 and went down through the grass there, but kept it off the wall and just put my head down and started coming back a little bit.
Yeah, we heard you on the radio talking about how you were overdriving the car, and you were recognizing that, and then it kind of sounded like you kind of changed it up a little bit, got things squared away, and we're back up there. But you got awfully lucky on that last incident there. I was telling Mike during the broadcast that I was really surprised you made it through there.
Oh, there was a couple of them that definitely opened my eyes. I was up on the outside line, and Calvin was sideways, and I was heading right for him, and he started rolling back, so I was able to sneak by on the high side. And then that last one there down on the bottom, they were stacking up in front of us, and I just couldn't check up time, and I got into Sean and got us another 4X on that last one. But yeah, once I got the boiling rubber off the car and got 4 good ones on it there at the end, I was, you know, and plus I was restarting on the bottom, I was feeling pretty good about it. I was hoping we were going to get one more lap there at the end, and being that I was on the inside, thought maybe I could get a second, sneak it away from Sean. But all in all, great race. I'm glad to be on the podium, get to talk to you guys again.
Well, good deal. We got Talladega coming up next week, so any thoughts about that one?
Yeah, it's another you know, another wild card. Everybody always talks about the plate races being just survival and, you know, doing your thing and staying out of trouble. I really enjoy the plate races. You know, a couple 100 miles of chess, basically. You know, yeah, you're not really racing until the last couple, but that's really the way all these races are. You got to take care of your stuff and be there at the end, and hope you get somebody to dance with, and it'll be fun.
Well, again, it's good to see you on the track. You know, the race went kind of the way we expected it would, but we did see some great green flag racing there in the middle. So looking forward to seeing you on the track again next week, man.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
All right, with that, again, I thank everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week for Talladega. I'm Mike Fair for Jamie Christensen and Dustin Phillips. We'll see you next week.
Mitochondria. We all got them. They're the powerhouses that energize our bodies. But people who have mitochondrial disease can't produce enough energy to walk, talk, see, or breathe. Things you and I take for granted. Every 30 minutes, a child is born who will develop mitochondrial disease before their teenage years. So power up with me. Walk for the children and adults who can't. You have the power to give them the energy to live. Show up for an Energy for Life walkathon in your community.